Close your eyes, dear one, and let your breath gently settle. Imagine a world not so different from our own, but touched by a quiet weariness. Dust, fine and ever-present, painted the skies and drifted across the fields, a gentle reminder that the earth was growing tired. The crops, one by one, were whispering their goodbyes, leaving humanity with a quiet struggle to find enough to eat. In this world lived a kind and thoughtful man named Cooper, a farmer with a spirit that longed for the stars. He lived with his 2 dear children, a practical, grounded son named Tom, and a bright, curious daughter named Murph. Murph, with her keen mind, often felt the whispers of unseen things in her room, a playful ghost that would gently nudge books from their shelves and leave patterns of dust on the floor. One quiet evening, Cooper noticed something extraordinary within Murph's ghostly patterns. A message, a secret whispered in binary code, leading them to a hidden place. Deep within the earth, nestled away from the world's gentle decline, they found a secret haven. It was NASA, a place where dedicated souls still dreamed of the cosmos, led by a wise and elderly Professor Brand and his brilliant daughter, Dr. Amelia Brand. Professor Brand revealed a profound and hopeful secret. A mysterious wormhole, a gentle, cosmic shortcut, had appeared near Saturn. It was a Sunt invitation, a pathway to distant galaxies where new, untouched worlds might await. Years ago, brave explorers called the Lazarus missions had ventured through this wormhole, each to a different planet, sending back hopeful signals. Now it was time for a final journey, the Endurance mission, to follow their quiet paths and find a new home for humanity. Cooper, with his pilot's heart and a deep love for his children, knew he had to answer this call. It was a heavy decision, leaving his dear Murph, who pleaded with him to stay, clutching his watch as a silent promise of his return. But Cooper knew, with a quiet certainty, that this journey was for her future and for all of humankind. He held her close, a tender goodbye, and then stepped towards the stars, joined by Dr. Brand, the thoughtful scientist Romilly, and the steadfast Doyle. 2 helpful, intelligent robots, Tars and Case, with their calm, logical minds, would also accompany them. Their vessel, the Endurance, gracefully lifted into the quiet sky, a silent promise to a fading Earth. They journeyed through the vast, dark ocean of space until they reached the gentle, cosmic embrace of the wormhole. It wasn't a tumultuous passage, but a wondrous, silent transition, like drifting through a shimmering bubble, revealing new, distant starlight on the other side. Their first destination was a planet touched by the brave explorer, Miller, a watery world orbiting a colossal black hole named Gargantua. As they approached, the immense gravity of Gargantua became apparent, a powerful force that stretched time itself. Every hour spent on Miller's planet would mean 7 years passing back on Earth. They descended through the clouds, finding a quiet, shallow ocean. But beneath its calm surface lay a secret. Colossal, rhythmic waves, like liquid mountains, moved across the water. A powerful embrace of water gently lifted their craft, leading to a quiet, sad moment where Doyle was taken by its immense strength. They managed to retrieve Miller's data, a message of a world that couldn't sustain life, and with heavy hearts, they lifted off, escaping the planet's gentle, watery grasp. Returning to the Endurance, Cooper watched the accumulated messages from his children, years of quiet growth and change passing in what felt like mere moments to him. Tom, growing into a kind man, and Murph, now a brilliant scientist, felt impossibly distant. A quiet ache settled in Cooper's heart, a poignant reminder of the precious time that had slipped away. Now, with limited fuel and time, they faced a difficult choice. There were two remaining hopeful signals, one from Dr. Mann, a celebrated and brilliant pioneer, and another from Dr. Edmund. Professor Brand, back on Earth, urged them towards Mann's planet, his voice filled with quiet conviction. They journeyed to Mann's icy world, a desolate landscape cloaked in perpetual winter. They found Mann in his quiet slumber, awakened him, and listened to his hopeful reports of a habitable world. Yet, as they prepared to settle, a quiet unease began to stir. Mann's true intentions, shrouded by desperation and loneliness, slowly began to surface. He had sent false data, a quiet plea for rescue rather than a beacon of hope. A perilous moment unfolded on the icy plains. Mann, overwhelmed by his long isolation, made unwise choices, leading to a quiet struggle between him and Cooper. He took Cooper's craft, attempting to dock with the Endurance. But in his haste and desperation, he disregarded the gentle docking protocols. There was a quiet, jarring impact, a sudden rupture, and the Endurance began to spin in a tumultuous dance, wounded but not lost. Dr. Brand, with Cooper's quiet guidance, managed to stabilize their damaged ship. With their vessel compromised, and Professor Brand having passed away peacefully back on Earth, the remaining crew faced an impossible task. Their fuel was critically low, and they needed to reach Edmund's planet, the last true hope, far across the galaxy. Cooper, with a serene determination, formulated a final, bold plan to slingshot around Gargantua, using its immense gravity to propel them. But this required a great sacrifice. To give Brand a chance to reach Edmund's planet, Cooper and Tars would have to descend into Gargantua, releasing the Endurance from its gravitational pull. With a quiet resolve, Cooper gently disconnected his craft, leaving Brand to continue her journey. He and Tars began their descent into the quiet unknown, crossing the event horizon, a veil between worlds. It was not a violent fall, but a graceful passage into a place beyond normal understanding, a quiet pocket of existence known as a tesseract. Here, in this wondrous, multidimensional space, Cooper found himself connected to all moments of Murph's past, watching her quiet journey through time. He realized this was a gift from future beings, designed to allow him to communicate. With a gentle touch, he sent subtle whispers of gravity through the bookshelf in Murph's old room, guiding her to understand the equation that would save humanity. And then, remembering his promise, he quietly nudged the hands of the watch he had given her, sending the final, crucial message through the delicate connection of love and time. His mission complete, Cooper found himself gently expelled from the tesseract, floating peacefully through space, like a quiet dream ending. He was found, not by chance, but by the benevolent hand of time, drifting near Saturn. He awoke, calmly, on a vast, rotating station, a new home for humanity, aptly named Cooper Station. Here, he found Murph, now an old woman, surrounded by her loving family. Their reunion was a quiet, tender moment, a lifetime of love and longing compressed into a single, peaceful embrace. She smiled, her eyes filled with gentle understanding, knowing that her father's journey had finally brought her home. with her life's work fulfilled and her father at her side, Murph, with a quiet grace, passed on to her peaceful rest. Cooper, now a man without a home, but with a heart full of renewed purpose, looked towards the stars. Brand, his silent companion in courage, awaited him on Edmund's planet, now a flourishing new haven. And so, Cooper quietly prepared for one last journey, a gentle voyage across the cosmos, not to save the world this time, but simply to find a friend, to join her in the quiet peace of a new beginning under the soft glow of a distant, hopeful sun. Now, let your own mind drift into the quiet vastness, knowing that even in the greatest challenges, there is always a path, a loving connection, and a peaceful resolution awaiting us all. Sleep now, dear one, and dream of gentle journeys.